So before we begin, I would just like to shout out my patrons: Dudley Reiner, Crimson, Consular, 10, Nude Banner, Damarcus Whitewood, Jamala Rodriguez, and Ariel Kersey. I'm very much grateful for your support, and if any of you want to support me on Patreon, you can always find the link in the description below. Hey guys, I'm Naya, and welcome back to the channel. So for today's video, we're talking about megatins again. I had the coolest video planned for like what's going to be in the megatins, but obviously that's not happening because people have actually started opening the megatins. We are getting on YouTube the early openings, and naturally we're all just clicking through the videos trying to see what the cards are, and the list, the official set card list, is getting updated like every second as it passes. It's getting updated, and as sad as I am that I don't have the DuoDaddy graphic that I usually like to feature in my videos, I'm just going to make my way through the set card list. And of course we have a lot of posts already about the polls and everything, so for the most part we know what's going to be in the tins, and they are amazing. They are so stacked. There are so many incredible reprints and also new cards, which are really cool and really interesting. So we did know we are getting 7 brand new cards, and at the end of the video we're also going to go through these cards. I'm going to quickly read through them and sort of talk about them. So yeah, I guess without any further ado, let's just get right into it. And before we begin, I would just like to encourage you to let me know what you think of the tins. Which cards are you most excited for? Which ones are you going to be picking up? And all of that. So like the tins are honestly amazing, so let's just go through everything. First of all, we have a couple arm dragon things. So for the most part it's just rarity upgrades, or I guess downgrades in the case of the arm dragon thunder level 10, but we did know about this one. And then Tribe Brigade Kit is getting the prismatic secret rare, just like the other Tribe Brigade monsters did get that treatment. Specifically Fractal looks really good, and you also have Ferjit, also looks really nice. So Kid getting that printing I think is very needed, and it wasn't like a cheap super rare. Then we have a couple live twin things, and like for the most part we're gonna just glance over the commons, but we do have a couple really interesting prismatic secret rares. The first one, obviously Prosperity. Like the fact that we actually got Prosperity in the tin is amazing, because you know some of the people said that, and I was also I also agreed with that because it wasn't on the poster, that maybe they decided to not print it for it to push another set sometime in the future. But thankfully that wasn't the case, and we are getting that pot of Prosperity. And together with that we also have the Underworld Goddess as prismatic secret rare, also amazing. And then the Altar Dogmatica Genesis. Okay, cool. So a couple super rare things, so virtual world stuff, more commons, Trap Tricks, Live Twin, Scrap Raptor is getting an ultra rare printing, the Ruddy Rose Dragon as a prismatic secret, also really nice. Overall, Ruddy Rose, like, I think it's such a cool card, but it never really got to see play, you know, as much as it maybe could. So like, I guess at this point it just looks good. It's not a bad card, but I guess I could see a bit more play. And also Drytron stuff, like that's huge I think, because Diviner was expensive, so if you wanted to play Drytron you had to invest. And it's also such a weird deck that sort of fell in and out of favor, so right now with cards being that accessible, it's cool to see that you can actually pick it up and just play it if you want, you know. And then for the, okay, more super rares, more commons, and then you have the Aluber prismatic secret, which surprised me a bit because it did get a reprint, but still, because all of these sets are getting reprinted, it makes sense that it's in it, as well as other Despia stuff. You have the Dramaturge, you have the common Albion, and then a really good looking prismatic rare branded opening, which we did know about, but it looks really, really good. And then you have the Despia and Carities, the prismatic secret again, and a couple more ultras. I'm gonna put everything up on the screen. This video overall is a bit more messy than my other ones because I need to go through the actual list, but like the most important ones were spoiled already, so we know about these. These are the ones we actually want to talk about. So like, I guess Ready Fusion, also one of them. It wasn't that cheap, and like it's one of those cards that I think is important to have on hand, like just have your play set, because a card like this, which is basically instant fusion, is going to come in handy at some point in time. So it's cool to have a really dope looking printing, and it's also going to be cheap enough that you can easily pick it up and just keep it in your staples binder or wherever you keep your cards and just have it ready. And the Ecclesia, again with the prismatic secret printing, this is very cool to me. A bit surprising because it did get like the high rarity version and then the secret rare version like I don't know. I would like to see it as an ultra, but it still looks really, really good. But Sword Soul stuff is not in here. So this surprised me, honestly, because we sort of were expecting it. Like Flunder stuff from the same set, everything is in here. But Sword Soul, because Moe was spoiled for the Magnificent Mavens, I guess it makes sense that everything Sword Soul related is going to be in that set. But that's kind of late. Like, anyone that wanted to pick up Sword Soul right now in the tins and sort of expected it to go down in price and you can maybe pick it up, because to me Sword Soul is like one of those decks that is right now maybe not that great, but can definitely be played in a couple months' time, I think, similarly to something like Salamangreat or stuff like that. So TLDR, it's a cool deck to have, but you're gonna need to wait a bit longer if you want to invest in it. And yeah, it's interesting that they decided to actually put the entire thing in that set. At least, I should say, that's what I'm expecting is going to happen. Like, nothing has been confirmed outside of Moe, so that's something to keep in mind. And yeah, like I said, like I mentioned, you know, you have everything Flunder, and the field spell is looking really, really good. As much as we dislike Flunder, you know, it is getting some cool printings. The other thing I really love is Masquerade being a super rare. It was really expensive for, like, you know, just an ultra rare. It was more expensive than it should be. And of course, it's a busted card and very needed in the DSPS strategy, so you had to invest in it. But like, yeah, like, it's cool. It's just cool to see. It's cool to see them giving accessible printings. And super rare overall, I think, is really nice. It's like one of my favorite rarities. So it's cool to see useful card being printed as just a cool, accessible, super rare. And then Destroyed Phoenix Enforcer, Prismatic Secret. So I have expected it to be an ultra, and it would also be really cool because, like, Dragoon is Prismatic Secret, right? And it was printed as an ultra when it first was released, so it would be cool that right now, you know, it would be sort of reversed and DPE was the secret and then could be printed as an ultra. So yeah, maybe I'm just stretching it, but I don't know, it looks really good. So that's the entire thing that matters. So Evo Twin Trouble Sunny, the Prismatic Secret rare. So if you're playing Ultimate Slayer, you can pick it up in that version if you want. We mentioned the Magnificent map. What else? Beat Trooper stuff. Cool. Moving on, we have Lightning Storm. So this one we knew about already, and it looks really good as a Prismatic Secret, and then Droplet, also a Prismatic Secret. And then you have all of the hand traps. So this entire tin, it just reminds me a lot of all of these, like Dual Devastator, Dual Overload, Dual, like, everything, when they decided to just make hand traps a bit more accessible, and then they went up in price again. So right now, if you look up the cheapest Ash, it's like around $20, something like that. So yeah, that's not that great. And right now we are getting those reprints. It's really nice to see staples, such important cards, being even more and more accessible. And you also have beautiful printings like Ogre and Ash, and then you have all of the super rare ones and the Ultra Nibiru. Like, you have something for every single rarity. Also the D-Shifter, which was expensive, so it's cool to have it be more accessible. And then Dark Ruler is an ultra rare. So yeah, we mentioned Dark Dragoon. Crossout. So this one was a surprise to me, honestly. I'm so excited for Crossout to be in here. It's not like the most important card to own, but still, it's a staple that you might want to have, because when the time comes when you're gonna need it for, like, a deck that maybe struggles, or like a heavy mirror match meta, like something like that, you might want to use Crossout. And then the alternate arts, they're beautiful. They look really, really good. I think they I don't know, not much to say. They just look really stunning, and I love that. I love when tins have everything, like competitive value, collector value, just accessibility and budget stuff. It's amazing. Alright, and as for the last cards, it's the new ones, of course, and the duo tower, I'm pretty sure, like, it looks the same. It's basically the tower from the anime where they duel on this Kaiba island where he comes flying in this blue ice jet. Pretty sure this is what happens, and I'm pretty sure that's the tower, and it has this specific battle phase effect where you, like, summon a monster and you can attack directly. It also has an end phase effect. You can read through all of the cards. I'm not going to sit here and read through them out loud. You can check them out if you want, but they're interesting. Like this one, for example, not sure how much play it's actually going to be seeing, but you know, I guess it's quite interesting. And then you also have the Crystal Beast Trap card. So basically the condition is if there are 2 or more types, a among the level 10 or higher monsters on the field, which is very, very specific. You can shuffle everything both of you have basically to the deck, and then both of you draw 5 cards. So it's sort of resetting the game in some sort of way, but it's through a trap card, which is kind of slow. But still, it's cool to see something like Crystal Beast getting support, especially on top of the structure deck that's going to be dropping. And then the next one, Link into the Reigns. This one is like similarly to something like Tri-Brigader Volt or Mathmech Super Factorio. So all of these cards where it's like you special summon a monster either from like grave, this one is from hand, for example, and then immediately after this effect resolves, for the most part, you'd be fusion summoning or synchro summoning or whatever it may be. But this one is for links, as the name says. So you summon a monster from the hand, and immediately after this effect resolves, you link summon. But the sort of catch is that your opponent cannot respond when the monster is summoned. Alright, so as for the god cards, like we're just gonna read through them. I'm not going to go word by word, but I can't remember every single one of them because they have so many effects and all of them are really good. But because it's like limited to the god cards for the most part, I guess that makes them a bit worse. But I don't know, maybe you can like build a competitive god card deck if you want with this support. So basically the trap card is Soul Energy Max. So if you control Obelisk, whose original attribute is Divine, you can tribute 2 other face-up monsters and destroy as many monsters your opponent controls as possible. And then you also inflict 4k damage to your opponent, which is really cool. And then during the main phase or battle phase, you can banish this card from the grave. Okay, so you search for an Obelisk. And then you can normal summon an Obelisk. So again, like I said, you know, a lot of effects. They all have something to do with the god cards. The Breaking Ruin God. The activation of this card or its effects cannot be negated. You special summon an Obelisk. Again, if you do, it's unaffected by your opponent's card effects this turn. So that's really nice. And then if you tribute 2 or more monsters you control at the same time. Okay, so in the previous effect, you can tribute 2 or more to do something. So this one sort of ties into the other one, where if you do that, if you tribute 2, you can banish this card and banish all monsters in your opponent's graveyard. And again, inflict 500 damage to your opponent. So with these 2 effects combined, you almost completely just take their life points. So it's cool. That's really cool. And then the Revived Sky God. Okay, so this one is the one that was spoiled, that we all like didn't know which one it was, and it's the Slifer trap card. So you special summon a Slifer, and each player draws until they have 6 cards in their hand, which is really, really cool, but it's until they have 6 cards in their hand. So if you activate it while your opponent still has a lot of cards in hand, if you draw this going first, that's like busted, because you get the draws, they don't. Because you probably go through your hand on turn 1. And then my favorite part of this effect is the fact that you can place a monster reborn on the top of your deck. Like, it's so gimmicky and it's so funny, but I love it. I just love it. I really like the support. I think it's so cool. And the last one is the True Sun God. So when this card is activated, you add 1. So this one is the one I was wondering, like, if you add the Winged Dragon of Ra or one card that mentions it, this one basically searches Sphere Mode. Because Sphere Mode does mention that you can special summon the Winged Dragon of Ra, like at the end of the text. So I guess this is a Sphere Mode searcher. And then, well, you can search itself. So monsters cannot attack the turn they're special summon, except the Winged Dragon of Ra, and it's continuous. So it's like continuously applying this restriction, which is kind of annoying, honestly, like for the opponent. And during the main phase, you can send this card from the field, or the Winged Dragon of Ra Immortal Phoenix from the deck to the grave, and send Ra from your monster zone to the graveyard. Okay, cool. So a lot of effects again, and I think all of these, like, they have such strong effects, but because they're all tying into these god cards, like I said, you know, I don't know if there's a lot of potential in this, but I might be wrong. So yeah, hopefully this video wasn't too all over the place. I really hate being disorganized, but this is what I came up with. I really wanted to put this video out and talk to you about the spoilers because I'm super hyped for them. So yeah, hopefully we went through everything that's like the most important out of the set. So going over it once more, Prosperity is like a highlight, and the Lightning Storm and the Droplet, all of the hand traps, of course. Flunder has beautiful printings. Kit has a beautiful printing. Underworld Goddess is really nice. Small World, I know, is one of the cards as well. So I guess we can quickly pull up the pictures I have as well, just to make sure that I didn't miss anything. But I think that's it. I think everything has been mentioned. The kit link as well. You have a couple Stardust things. So yeah, just amazing things. Honestly, there is not a lot to say that would be like bad about these things. I think they're awesome. And the King of the Heavenly Prison, also cool reprint. I just saw it on the screen. So yeah, if you like this video, like it, and please let me know which cards are you most excited about from the tins. I'm super hyped for the entire tins, honestly. I couldn't pick just one card, but let me know. And yeah, like the video, sub to the channel, check out all the social media, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!